I think in the future, when telling this story, it's like when the automotive industry makes a high-end car. How should these designers start doing it? First, they will start creating a dream. They want to give you a mindset, create a bunch of concepts for you like a castle. And then you sit in the castle eating black truffle cake by the window with your yak below, and then construct a kind of illusory life that we mortals cannot build at all. And then at this time it's about to begin, I'll put all the original colors of these designs into this car. So this car can become very luxurious, that's right. In fact, everyone does it this way, but after I came here today, I realized that when Huawei does design, their thinking is not like this. I even feel that they have a kind of engineer's very straightman kind of feeling. They said, no matter what the design is, we must put the user experience first. So in addition to giving everyone a sense of nobility, this car, the core thing to do is to upgrade the user experience. I think the people who come up with such an idea should only believe in Yu Zhong, right? Yu Zhong, the first time we filmed a show, I opened the car door. He got out of the car. At that time, the barrage on Bilibili was already going crazy. A group of people started doing fan-made content, saying, why is Yu Zhong still making a Maybach? I think this thing might have stimulated him. It took about 3 or 4 years, and finally the Zunji S800 met everyone. Its positioning is ultra-luxury executive sedan. So let's see how this ultra-luxury car should be made okay. If you think of ultra-luxury, which brand would you think of in your mind? 4 words, come on. Type it in the barrage area. I think everyone who types Rolls-Royce shouldn't be wrong, right? Rolls-Royce's design, how does it create a dream for you? Or how does its design aesthetic come about? It actually gets rid of all functional things and throws them away. What I want is to give you a kind of lifestyle you've never seen before, or it's made with a design logic that doesn't follow the rules at all. I want to see a towering Parthenon. Why? Because for Europeans, only those architectural things are eternal. For example, when I see a Baroque building, I see it towering straight, it is solemn, it gives a sense of oppression. Then bring all those elements, and I think these elements are in this Zunji S800. There are also some similar elements. For example, it will also be pulled relatively flat, large plane, pulled relatively wide. These are all there, but there are also many things here that it doesn't have. For example, let's look at one point. When we come here, many bloggers will tell you this crystal headlight, but I won't talk about these. I'll look here, look very low. Very low, it's so much lower than my belt. In fact, the designer tried their best to lower the front of the car. So what does lowering it represent? If we look at many of these new energy vehicles, we will see this lowering process, because after lowering it, it means that the drag coefficient of the whole car will be reduced. So you would think I'm buying $1 million luxury car. Do I need a drag coefficient to save me that 30 or 50 cents on gas? Indeed, you don't need it, but the drag saved is not necessarily to save you money. It can also save other things. We'll talk about this issue later. We'll talk about it in a bit. Come on, let's show everyone this detail. Again, this is a large wheel that everyone is very familiar with. In addition to being luxurious, it also has a low drag coefficient. This tire, I carefully checked it for everyone, the small elements on the previous show car are gone. Let's skip directly over and look here, look here. Look, this isn't a pillar, right? It's a pillar, is very forward. This dividing line is here. So look, this place is only the length of a pen. If this were a Maybach, if this were a Rolls, then this would at least come here, right? To lengthen this LO113 to make it look like a luxury car, right? So why is this 800 doing this? It actually also comes from a functional experience. It wants to leave more space in the car and make the mechanical space as small as possible. So what other models have used similar concepts? I can't say which of the two approaches is more right or more wrong. I can only say one thing is, from a physics perspective, doing this must be filling more space into the car. At this time, if you are the chairman, your legs should be able to stretch out straighter, your lying posture should be able to lie flatter. Right, let's take a look at these colors. For example, this color is a new color. It's called Wilderness Gold Gray. The one below is a bit like Mercedes Pullman color. And further up, actually, this one is said to be gold gray, like what it carries, gold, and then slowly darkens, saying that life should not only have depth, but also breadth. So this represents a feeling of being refreshed and relaxed, of course. There's another color I really like. That's the purple one, Cloud Top Glow. Why is it called Cloud Top Glow? I asked. Seriously, the designer told me it's like this. He said, if you climb high enough, you're lucky enough, then you can see the glow coming through at the top of the clouds. That's that color, so you see what are the life scenes that most of us mortals think of, is that we see an aurora in the Arctic on a short video. And then we think that's the real color of the aurora finally. One time I went to the Arctic Circle and saw that aurora. Oh, it turns out it's not quite what we see. Why? Because all your photos will have color differences, only when you personally go to that place and feel that color with your eyes. That's the real color, and copying that color down, it belongs to those noble colors. That's a pretty good story, right? Let's take another look at a small detail. This door, this is probably one of the longest car doors. We can see it might be longer than my life if this is a tall, beautiful woman of 1.8 meters. If she just lifts it up like this, I don't think she can reach it, so the legroom that is left for you in the back should be very, very, very sufficient. I use 3 Veras. Some people will worry about whether this door is easy to open. Will it be very heavy, bro? You're overthinking it. This door should be electric, and when you pull this door open like this, there must be a hotel doorman to help you pull it open. When it opens, he will also use his hand to protect your head like this, chairman. Be careful, right? So you don't need to pull this door yourself. And even if you have to pull it yourself, there's a small detail. Let's take a look. This is a semi-hidden door handle, What other cars have used it? And then we look, there will be many sparkling stars. Inside, I remembered a line of poetry that says, one can pluck the stars, that is, every time you pull it, you will think of yourself, wow. The stars will not let down those who are on the road. That kind of feeling. Look here. They didn't make a triangular window here. Instead, they made this into a whole piece here. A design called backflow is used. You all know calligraphy, right? You all practiced it when you were young. Write a backflow of that wind, and this place has a stroke back. It becomes very thick and heavy. 2 benefits. The first is that when you open the car door, this place won't hurt our esteemed chairman. The second is that when you sit in the car, your head is probably in this place, and with some very clever little designs inside. This area of privacy will be very well done for you. Okay, let's look here. You say you've spent more than $1 million to buy a car with a big fastback. An executive sedan with a fastback design, not a traditional 3-box design. Everyone type something. Let me see the comments. Actually, there's a reason for this too. They say that using this design can reduce some wind resistance, because if you use a traditional 3-box design, a turbulent zone will form here. It will have high pressure and will sacrifice some wind resistance. This way, it will quickly be exported. So this can reduce the wind resistance coefficient by dozens of counts. So back to the previous question. If I spend more than $1 million to buy a super luxury executive sedan, would I care about the fuel money brought by such a small wind resistance coefficient? Actually, it's not. Just this little thing, what it can reduce is the unnecessary mileage loss caused by wind resistance. Just this one design can make your driving range increase by 10 or 20 kilometers. So in this way, you see, it's not actually chasing after your little bit of money, but helping you chase the limit. For a chairman, this is too important, because they are always running at the limit of life and business. Remember what that saying was: if you've never missed a train at the train station, then it must be that your time management is not good enough. Okay, let's look at the taillights. A long strip of lights, a crystal light. This crystal light also has a story. It's not a translucent body, but a luminous body compared to those traditional luxury brands. This thing is actually emitting light outwards as a whole. Look here again, the concave part is done very simply, but some inlays are made. This is a bit like what that kind of light that shines out from a very high-end bar. It gives you a kind of illusory feeling, making you feel like you are still in the human world. But it also makes you feel like all of this feels a bit advanced, just this, so all the design functions of this car take priority and then give you some psychedelic colors. What other mysteries are hidden within this interior?